Well, there is room for concern now. A lot of concern. And second straight crow for the Eagles. They lost to the Redskins today by a score of 27-20. Technically, it was a score of like 27-6 because offensively the Eagles were garbage. I'm gonna be flat out honest with you guys. The Eagles offensively today could not get anything started, and when they did, penalties would kill them. Freaking terrible running plays with a loss of yardage would be not to mention Big V, this rookie coming in for Lane Johnson cannot block anyone for his life. Like Carson Wentz to start off the game, first snap, he drops back, and in 3 seconds he's already getting pulled by the jersey. His jersey from the back of his shirt from here to here gets ripped, and he has to get a new jersey. And the second quarter, the Eagles were non-existent on offense. They only had the ball for 1 minute and 44 seconds in that second quarter. Yet they scored 14 points thanks to a Wendell Smallwood kick return for a touchdown after we were down 14-0. And then on the next drive for the Washington Redskins, Malcolm Jenkins returned an interception for a touchdown to tie up the game. And right there, we actually thought, all right, maybe we could get something started on defense if we can stop these guys. Matt Jones, running back for the Washington Redskins, ran all over our asses. It's not even funny. I'm being real. He ran for 135 yards on 16 carries and a touchdown. The longest run was the 57-yarder in I believe it was the second or third quarter. And then he had another fairly long one to end off the game about 5 minutes ago. And then Robert Kelly ran for 5 yards on 5 yards, excuse me. He ran for 59 yards. And it was horrible. It was terrible. We allowed over 230 yards just of running, just on the rush. We couldn't stop the running game. It was embarrassing. It was horrible to watch. Jim Schwartz's defense, I'm really concerned about it. Because, 3 weeks ago, we stopped Pittsburgh and only allowed them to score 3 points. Now, we're getting rushed on for freaking 230 yards. Last week, it was over 150 yards. What happened? What's changed is my question. What happened in this locker room? Carson Wentz got sacked 5 times. Coming into this game, he was only sacked 7 times. Had no interceptions, no touchdowns, only 179 yards passing. He only completed 11 of his 22 attempts, and that's mostly because the Eagles' offense did not see any game time in that second quarter. It was embarrassing. Kirk Cousins threw for nearly 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the pick that was returned for a touchdown. Ryan Matthews, he ran for 60 yards on 9 carries. We didn't run the ball at all, because half the time when it didn't necessarily work. But in the second half, we started to get in a rhythm, but this defense could not stop the Redskins. And anytime we were on a rhythm, penalties. Way worse than last week because these penalties actually were there. Fletcher Cox did a roughing the passer penalty on a 3rd and goal on the 2 for the Washington Redskins. It was 14-14, We're trying to keep it to a field goal, 17-14, so we can actually have some momentum going into the freaking halftime. And no, roughing the passer gives them 1st and goal at the 1. And on 2nd and goal, Matt Jones runs it in, walks it in actually, I should say. The Washington, they have our number. They fucking own us. They've won 4 straight. We haven't won since, 2014, the brawl at the Link when Nick Foles got blindsided and then this whole brawl in the 3rd quarter started. That's the last time we beat this team. Ever since then, they have owned us. They cannot beat this team, and I'm upset. The lead receiver for the Eagles was Jordan Matthews. He only had 3 receptions for 75 yards. 1 big catch in I believe it was either late 3rd quarter or the beginning of the 4th quarter. It was a 54-yarder, and it got us back in the game somewhat, but we still couldn't do anything about that. Nelson Aguilar had some pretty good catches. Dorial Green-Beckham, I need to see more of this guy. This is just he had one reception a huge play. It was for like 40-something yards, and it was called back on a holding penalty by Jason Kelsey. And then the one time we get Green Beckham the ball, he gets 23 yards on the return. Wendell Smallwood gets a good 14 yards on a reception. Zach Ertz gets one catch. Where were our tight ends? Again, no tight ends. Where are they? With this guy, Big V, this freaking rookie struggling so hard, why don't we have Brett Selleck there? Why don't we have Zach Ertz staying there with him to help out this guy? Because he can't block for shit, so why can't we help him out? And where's Trey Burton? Where's Zach Ertz? Where's Dorial Green-Beckham? Where's freaking Josh Huff, of all people? Where are these people at? I don't see them anywhere. Wendell Smallwood is my player of the game because he got a freaking 86-yard kick return for a touchdown that sparked something. I wouldn't necessarily say sparked something because our offense still couldn't do anything. This game was one of the worst division games from the Eagles I have seen in a long time. I'm surprised it ended out at 27-20 because let me just... I watched the entire game. I will never quit on this team. I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to admit defeat unless if we're getting blown out 50-0 in the third quarter. That's a completely different story. But this game, I seriously don't know what happened to this team. Like, this team went from blowing out teams, from showing off how great a defense they are, showing how great Carson Wentz is, to these penalties. They had over almost 30 penalties in the past 2 freaking weeks. How do you expect to win football games when you're getting penalized every single play, week after week? It's just terrible. It was horrible. And like the defense could not stop the run. And Deshaun Jackson, 4 receptions for 55 yards. Pierre Garçon got 6 receptions for 77 yards. But Deshaun Jackson, like, ever since he went to this team is the death of the Philadelphia Eagles. We cannot beat this team. And it's so saddening because I don't know, man. I'm afraid about next week. Next week we have to host Minnesota, and they're coming fresh off a bye week. The week after that, we're going to Dallas to play the Cowboys in primetime, and then the week after that, we're going to MetLife to play the Giants. Oh, man. I still think that we could beat at least the Giants, but, like, with what I just saw, I don't know anymore. For my preview video, I said that, we could definitely knock out the division games and maybe win or lose against the Vikings. Now I'm rethinking everything because let me just tell you, this team isn't good. Right now, they do not look right. And Benny Logan out with groin injuries. Who else got out with groin injuries? Another player got out. Marcus Smith with a groin injury. Nolan Carroll was banged up a little bit. And I look at other games. Freaking LaShawn McCoy ran rampant. And they're still in the fourth quarter. Buffalo right now, at this moment in time, they're beating San Francisco by a score of 54-16. LaShawn McCoy has over 160 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns on the ground. Why can't we have that? Ryan Matthews, he had a few sparks. But this entire team offensively was the worst. I'm going to turn this off. I don't even want to look at that anymore. It was horrible. Carson Wentz, I feel bad. He got hit on so many plays, and when he wasn't getting hit on any play, we were getting penalized, and every single time there was a big play, it was because of a hold or something along that freaking line, and it was just nauseating, It really... This is the second straight week where we've had over 13 penalties that are taking back so many plays. We're not doing anything on offense, and the defense cannot stop anybody. I'm afraid for Sam Bradford's return next week. I really am. And not to mention, we have to go play Dak Prescott or Tony Romo or whoever the hell is starting when the Cowboys come off their bye in week 9. Or week 8, whenever. I don't even know anymore. I'm concerned for this team. And I know this shouldn't really be getting me this upset. And I'm not screaming. I'm not blowing my fuse or any bullshit like that. But it's it's just irritating and frustrating to see the team that you love to watch, regardless of if they're rebuilding or not, lose to the same old teams in the same old fashion. And we know this team has potential. We know this team has all this and that and everything. Carson Wentz, I mean, he's throwing dimes everywhere. Half the time, penalties are calling the play back, or he's getting sacked because Big V and this entire offensive line is just all out of sorts. It's just, where the hell did everything go? Like, even with Lane Johnson, we couldn't help Carson Wentz back there. Even, like, I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know what team is the true Eagles, and I'm really hoping that these past 2 weeks are not what the real Eagles are. I know we're rebuilding. I know that we still have a lot of football to go, but you can't not be concerned about the Eagles after the past 2 weeks. Let me tell you, I'm very concerned, and I'm afraid for the Vikings game next week. The Vikings are the best team in the league. They're the only team undefeated. The Patriots are right behind them. You know, they're a really big force. I'm afraid. And I'm really afraid. Like, the Giants, I'm not too afraid of. The Giants are struggling as well. I don't even know. I think they might have lost, as a matter of fact. They were winning, and last time I checked, they were losing on 4th down. But the Cowboys, our schedule as of right now, it's not helping me at all because, you know, we got to play the Vikings, and we have to play the Giants and the Cowboys, and then, you know, then we got this huge stretch of games between Cincinnati and Green Bay and fucking Seattle. Like, dude, I don't know. It's not gonna be good, and I'm praying that this isn't gonna be terrible. I still have faith in this team. You know, every team goes on a losing streak. I mean, look at the Giants. They might be going 2-4 after a 2-0 start. Oh, never mind. I'm getting a thing right now. The Odell Beckham just caught a touchdown pass, and they're winning 27-23 with a minute left in the game. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's just upsetting, and it's really mind-boggling. I don't know. Like, this team literally reminds me of Chip Kelly. The way that they've played, like, the defense couldn't get off the field, regardless of how many times they scored. And then offensively, we couldn't do shit. And it's just, it wasn't good. And I'm afraid for the Minnesota game, guys. All in all, though, there's some good that came out of this. Carson Wentz is still looking really sharp for what he was given and what he worked with this week. Wendell Smallwood, he's still, like, I need to see more of him. Need to see more Dorial Green-Beckham, like, the one, like, I don't get it. Like, I don't know. I don't know where the tight ends were this game either. Like, I feel like a broken record right now. It's literally like a repeat of last year. I'm not liking it. But yeah, that's all I'm going to talk about right now. I'm going to go watch the Cowboys game. Hopefully the Cowboys lose. It doesn't matter, though, because they're probably going to win the division. So, I'll talk to you guys on Wednesday or whenever I make a video. And yeah, I'll see you guys when I see you. Let's go Packers.